Welcome to kindergarten at Sierra Heights Elementary. We are so excited to see you and meet you. This is our administrative team. Hi, I'm Laura Bond, the school principal, and next to me is our assistant principal, Carly Wyatt. Meet our fabulous kindergarten team. We have Mrs. Bennell, Mrs. Flores, Mr. Makanda-Wile, Mrs. Nishioka, and Ms. Wolcott. Meet our specialist team. In PE, we have Mr. Blendred and Mr. Caldwell. In library, we have Mrs. Vanderwall. And in music, we have Mr. Mold and Mrs. Seabird. Our vision at Sierra Heights is to foster independent and capable learners who strive to better themselves in our community. And our goal at Sierra Heights is always for staff and students to use a growth mindset. A growth mindset is a way of thinking that says, even if this is hard, I'm going to keep trying. Or if I have to think about this in a different way, I'm going to be flexible in my thinking. So in light of all of that, our theme for the school year for this year was 2021 was we will persevere, because a lot of changes happened and we needed to stick together and think outside the box and continue to move forward, even if things were difficult. But next school year, we will be coming into 2021, 2022. And our theme for the year is better than ever. We're going to take all the knowledge we had in previous years and what we learned this year and put it together, and we will be better than ever here at Sierra Heights. Let's inside the school.
Hello, new kindergarten students. I'm Miss Bond, your school principal. I'm coming to you live from a kindergarten classroom. We are so excited to see you in September. We are the Sierra Heights Eagles, and at Sierra Heights, we have 4 school-wide expectations that we follow. Be kind, be safe, be responsible, and be your best. We do this in all areas of our school, including the classroom, the hallways, the bathrooms, the gym, the office. All students, to be amazing Eagles, follow these 4 school-wide expectations. Thank you for joining us today. We are in the process of doing some planning for next school year with more information to follow. Please stay tuned for more information about kindergarten.
What will learning look like for kindergartners? Who better to tell you than our teachers? A typical school day looks like reading and writing in the morning, lunch and recess around 11, then students move into math. They have PE, music, or library, then science, social studies, or art, recess again, and they end their day with centers. And centers is really a time for students to practice their social skills and how they engage with their classmates. The next content area we're going to look into is reading.
Hi, new kindergarten families. I'm Mrs. Cochran, and I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at Sierra Heights. We are super excited to have you start with your kinder with us in the fall. If you're a first-time kindergarten parent, we know how anxious you must be about school starting in the fall. If you're a returning parent, we are so happy to have you back, but you might be a little anxious too about how the school year is going to open up. Either way, we are here today to help ease a lot of that anxiety about what's going to be happening in the fall and what's going to happen in kindergarten next year. My job today is to talk to you about reading in kindergarten. I'm going to be sharing with you some things that you can do over the summer to ensure that your child is ready to be a reader. 5 and 6-year-olds love books, and they would like to learn how to read in kindergarten. We will teach them how to read in kindergarten, but more importantly, our goal is to instill a love of reading in your child, and this begins with you. You are your child's first teacher. Research continues to inform us that reading with your child when they are young is very important. Here are some tips that will help you get your child ready for school in the fall. This will also be in your packet that you have received already or will be receiving from the school, so you will have it as a backup. Number one, though, is go to the library to check out books. The libraries should be open around June, and I would encourage you especially to go to the Highlands Library and meet Mr. Derby. He can show you around the library where all the great kids' books are, and I would encourage you to attend the read-alouds. He is fun. The kids love him. You can't stop loving books when you're in that Highlands Library. When you get those books, read for 20 minutes every day with your child. It doesn't matter what language the book is in, just sit with your child on your lap and read, read, read. You're going to want to show children what a book is all about. This doesn't seem obvious to most grown-ups, but kids need to know where the front of the book is, where the back of the book is. We read the book from left to right. The words go from top to bottom. You might even have them start pointing at some words that they know, or just read the story from the pictures. You're going to want to ask them questions about the book, have some dialogue about what the story was about, and encourage your child to use full sentences when they talk instead of using just one-word responses. We included this same list of helpful tips for becoming a reader in Spanish as well. Also included in your packet should be this packet of nursery rhymes, Make Friends with Mother Goose. The first beginnings of reading are phonemic awareness, and that's hearing the sounds in words. Kids love to play with words. They like nursery rhymes. Things like the itsy bitsy spider, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, playing with those words and having fun with words and rhymes is a good way for your child to start developing the ability to hear sounds in words. Clapping things like Seattle, Washington, very helpful in developing those skills. Other books like Brown Bear, books that are repetitive and have a nice sing-song to them are also ways for kids to start memorizing each page and starting to turn the pages from front to back and maybe pointing to some of the words as they go along. As you're reading about books and stories, it's a good idea to have conversations with your kids about those stories. And you can make all kinds of connections, real-life connections to the stories you read. In this picture, this little guy, Christian, he's making bread at home, just like the little red hen made bread, making that connection that making bread is a lot of work. You might need some help. Silas down here is showing you reading stamina. Creating a reading spot for your child is a really good way for them to have a place to do their reading where they can start to really focus on a book for short periods of time. Of course, learning the ABCs is a vital part of becoming a reader, or at least a decoder of words. Your kids are going to be learning all the letters of the ABCs in kindergarten, but it really helps if your child has some background with letters and sounds. They're going to be learning that there's an uppercase and a lowercase letter for all 26 letters of the alphabet, and that also there is a sound that's unique to each of those letters. One thing that you can do to help your child really get some background information about letters and sounds is to use the website www.starfall.com. It's a great resource and it's a fun activity for your kids to use to get ready for the rigors of kindergarten reading.
And next we have math.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Nishioka. I'm one of the kindergarten teachers here at Sierra Heights. We're looking forward to welcoming your child here in the fall. I have the opportunity to share with you some of the things that you can do this summer to prepare your child in the area of math. So one of the first things is just identifying 4 basic shapes: rectangle, triangle, square, and a circle. Another thing is verbally counting to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 20. You have them do some exercises while they're counting. There's a lot of different YouTube videos if you just look up kindergarten counting 1 through 20 on YouTube. You'll have so many different choices. Just pick your favorite few videos. That would be great. And then I think just introducing language such as small, smaller, smallest, tall, short, heavy, light into your language, and just talking about math, like when you're baking, cooking in the kitchen, and when you're out and about, just doing your thing this summer. The last thing is just counting the number of objects. So I'm just going to adjust my camera. You can get anything in your household, collection of objects, just lay it out and have your child count. Have your child point to each object as they're counting. So it should look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then asking your child, how many crayons are there? And your child should be able to say there are 7 crayons. We want them to be able to count up to 10 objects when asked how many. Also, if you can write down a number 1 through 10, so I wrote the number 4, and just telling your child, okay, can you show me it's not even naming it, can you show me this many? And seeing if they can match the number of objects to the number, right? So notice how I didn't tell them this is the number 4, just can you show me this many? And having them show you. That's it. Just thank you, and we're really looking forward to welcoming your son or daughter to school in the fall.
Moving on to fine motor and writing.
Hi, I'm Melanie Bennell, and let's talk about fine motor skills and how they're supported in kindergarten. For handwriting, let's first look at pencil grip, then paper position and posture, and directionality. Here are some examples of pencil grips. The most efficient way to hold a pencil is where the pencil is positioned between the thumb and index finger with the pencil resting on the middle finger. We call this a tripod grasp. The importance of a proper pencil grip. An awkward or inefficient grip can lead to pain and muscle fatigue, frequent tip breakage. The pressure can actually rip the paper and lead to a frustrated student. A proper grip, however, will lead to legibility, letter formation, frequent fluency and speed, and endurance. In kindergarten, some ways that we address an awkward or ineffective pencil grasp is by using small or thin pencils, breaking small pencils, crayons, or chalk to make them shorter, using tongs or tweezer activities. Operation is a good example of using tweezers. Lacing beads or using lacing boards. By going vertical, by using an easel or whiteboard to practice drawing, painting, or writing. Popping bubble wrap. Push pin art. That's where you push pins into outlines of paper on a rug surface. Legos. And holding a small eraser, pom-pom, or coin in the last 2 fingers on the hand grasping the pencil, like so. See that? Right there. Here you see the paper positioning. A left-hander would have the paper slightly tilted up on the left side. A right-handed student would have the paper parallel to them. Good posture is important in writing. You have both feet on the floor, elbows off the edge of the desk, sitting back in your chair, shoulders slightly forward with a proper desk height. Here we have an example from our Handwriting Without Tears curriculum. This is actually included in your packet. Capitals, numbers, and lowercase letters. Here you see some numbers and arrows. This shows you the directionality of letter formation. The difference between writing and drawing is actually following the directionality. If your student is not following top to bottom, left to right, they're actually drawing. Following the directionality will lead to a much more efficient writer. Writing in kindergarten we take our skills and our knowledge and we write. We write in our journals, we practice our penmanship, and we have a writer's workshop curriculum. This includes labeling, pattern books, writing to teach others, nonfiction writing, opinion writing, narrative writing, and persuasive writing. Steps to learning to cut with scissors. Well, number one will always be safety. Next, positioning of hands, learning to open and close the scissors, and developing precision and control through practice. Scissor safety. Hold the closed blades down when you need to walk and carry scissors. Stop cutting if you want to look up. Cut away from your body parts and hair, and never run or play with scissors. Positioning of the hand. The thumb goes in the smaller opening, the index and middle finger into the larger opening. Have your scissors in a thumbs up position when cutting, so your hands are in the correct position for cutting. This is a great tip for children. Elbows should be in towards their body core. Many children will use their whole arm when they only need to use their hand. Hold the scissors perpendicular to the paper and move your thumb up and down to cut the paper. Also included in your packet are some practice sheets for cutting. Bear in mind that straight lines are easier than curved, curved are easier than angles, and thick or stiff paper is easier than thin to cut. Lastly, here's just some ideas to practice cutting with scissors. Really, anything you can imagine. Paper plates, newspaper, cardboard, coffee filters, wrapping paper, straws, tape, fabric, sandpaper, toilet paper rolls, sponges, oil, yarn, clay, grass, leaves, bread, Play-Doh. It's as limited as your imagination. Thank you.
Next, we'll talk about science.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Walcott. I am so excited that you are getting ready for kindergarten. Today, I want to show you some of the things you will learn about this year in science. Then, we will explore ways that you can get ready for these scientific adventures. In kindergarten science, we explore the world using our 5 senses. Children learn science concepts using their 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. Some of the many subjects we study in kindergarten are animals, wood and paper, and trees. Observe, question, investigate. Students are expected to learn what plants and animals, including humans, need to survive, and the relationship between their needs and where they live. Students think of answers to questions such as, what happens if you push or pull an object harder? Where do animals live? And why do they live there? What is the weather like today? And how is it different from yesterday? What can you do to help your child prepare? Number 1, let your child explore their yard or local park. Look closely at plants and animals there. Talk with your child about the colors, shapes, and sizes of the living things they find. Listen, smell, and gently feel the plants. Listen and observe the birds, insects, and small animals. Number 2, teach your child to respect living things and to study them with care. Number 3, encourage your child to ask questions about their world. Number 4, read stories to your child about topics of interest: planets, magnets, dinosaurs, lions, trees, worms. Find books at the library and online. And number 5, don't forget to study science indoors by cooking, cleaning, building, painting, racing cars, and playing with water. There is chemistry and physics in almost everything we do.
Next, we're going to talk about social skills. And really, social skills are those times where we're trying to figure out how to play with our friends or understanding that the feelings that we're having. Sometimes it's understanding the feelings we're having and how we navigate those feelings. Somebody who really helps us with that is Mrs. Durham, our school counselor. She helps us be our best each and every day.
Families, my name is Mrs. Durham, and I'm the counselor here at Sierra Heights. There are lots of different things that I do here at the school. I teach classroom lessons on problem solving, bullying, and safety. I partner with teachers and parents to help students be successful here at school. I hold small groups for students that might need extra lessons on social skills or making friends. I work with families that need resources like food, clothing, and other items. I also partner with local mental health offices to provide school-based counseling. I am here to help your kindergartner have a successful year at Sierra Heights. I look forward to meeting all of you.
What else do you need to know about kindergarten? Attendance matters all day, every day. School starts at 8:55 and ends at 3:35. One of the ways we learn best in elementary school is from each other. And those conversations that kids have each and every day help their brain grow. So it's really important that students come to school each and every day, even in kindergarten. Or I'd like to say actually, especially in kindergarten. That's, of course, unless you're sick. So you do need to stay home if you have a fever or a rash or you have a sick stomach or you have a cough. And you'll know when you're ready to go back to school when your fever has subsided or your cough is under control. We do have some really specific parameters around if you have a fever or a cough as of now. And I'm not going to go into too much more detail about that because we continue to take our advice from the CDC and the Department of Health. And as we gather more information about what it's like next year, I will share that information with you. Arrival and dismissal. Be back to school, be safe, and be smart. So when we arrive at school, our students, kindergartner students, lined up under the covered area. The bussers get off the bus and line up, and the parent drop-off or walkers go through the building and join their classes in line. For the safety of students, we ask that parents drop off in the lines and leave. This year, we had students go straight into the classrooms, which is a little bit of a shift, and we're not sure which way we'll go next year, but we will definitely communicate that before school starts. Our typical year, though, our kindergartners line up outside under the covered area. At dismissal, the bussers get picked up from their classrooms by an adult or a safety patrol fifth grader. Parents who pick up students are escorted to the front of the building by their teacher, or students go to Right at Schools. This is a before or after school program that we have at Sierra Heights. It's housed in our building. Right at Schools is its own program, but it is on all of our elementary school campuses. If this is an option you're looking for a before or after school care, you can reach out directly to Right at Schools, which information is on our Renton School District webpage. Bus riders. All kindergarten students are always in the front of the line and must ride in the front of the bus. Students are not dropped off at their stop unless there's an adult there to pick them up. If for some reason there's no adult to pick up your child at the bus stop, your child will be brought back to school in kindergarten. If you have a fourth or fifth grader that you would like to go home with your child, you just need to communicate with the bus driver that you are releasing your kindergartner to walk home with their sibling. Students will be given a bus tag. The tag needs to be visible and stay on their backpack all year. We use that tag to double check and triple check drivers, especially if we have guest drivers and change of staff outside. We make sure that all of our kids get onto the right bus. Families will receive bus information online. A postcard will be sent home for directions this summer so you can figure out where your bus stops are. Parent pickup is a little bit of a busy time. We sometimes will have traffic that goes out into the middle of the road. So we have a really tight structure that helps us keep traffic moving, and everybody gets into one line, and we unload and load kids only in the loading zone. And you can see a sign here, just right here. It says loading zone. This is the area where your students can get in and out of the car. And then we just keep the kids moving. It's really important that parents stay in your car. And we as adults, staff members, will support them in and out of the vehicle. Students must load on the passenger side. Even if you have a car seat on the passenger side for one of your other children, they may have to go around, climb through, because we don't want them cutting through traffic. Other cars are not looking for your child, and we're really concerned about safety. So all students must load in on the passenger side. You may also choose to park and walk to pick up your student, and make sure that you cross at the crosswalk. One of the things in kindergarten that is a huge focus is building independence. So students should be able to climb into the car seat with us opening the door and getting themselves buckled. So that's a really good thing to work on over the summer, is buckling and unbuckling car seats. If you have a change of dismissal plans, for example, your child typically takes a bus and you want them to be parent pickup, please call the office prior to 3 o'clock to ensure that they get to the correct location. It gets very busy at the end of the school day, and we want to make sure that your child knows where they're supposed to go at the end of the day. And if you let your kindergartner know in the morning, they often forget, they fall into their routine, and there's nothing worse than showing up to school to pick up your child and realizing that they're still riding the school bus home. So make sure that you let the office know prior. That way we can communicate to all the important adults and make sure your child gets where they need to be. You just call the office at 425-204-4650. Lunch. You can see that this picture is a very different year. This was pre-COVID, but we do have a hot lunch available here at school at Sierra Heights. We're not sure what the lunchroom will look like next year, but as we gather more information, we'll let you know. You may also pack a lunch from home. Please make sure to pack a healthy lunch that's not filled with sodas and candy. We need brain food to keep kids going throughout the day. So proteins are good, and just things that will keep their brain going. We do have multiple food allergies, so watch for notes that come home around any allergies. And then snack time throughout the day will be communicated to you by their teacher. Dressing functionally is so important. We have recess, rain or shine. The only time we don't have recess if for some reason it becomes a safety issue. So our kids go out and we play in the rain. There will be a dress code in our student handbook that's on our webpage. The one for this year is already posted, and if it gets updated, it'll be updated on our webpage for next school year. It's going to be super important to label all your jackets with their first and last name. I would say take a Sharpie, find a spot, and put first and last name. That way, if we find the jacket and we find a first and last name, we'll deliver it right back to your child. Otherwise, it sometimes sits in the lost and found for a really long time, and on occasion, all the way to the end of the school year. And you may be missing a coat that you could have easily gotten back. Comfortable shoes will be really important for running and playing in, and they have PE a couple times a week. So for safety, if they have shoes that they can run in and play, then they'll be able to do PE as well. Make sure that your child has on clothing that they can navigate independently. Self-care. In kindergarten, students go to the bathroom on their own. So at the beginning of the year, the teacher will explain the bathroom routines, show them where it is, take them on a tour. Students will be reminded to take bathroom breaks during transition times. Students must wash their hands to keep them nice and clean and germ-free. Students are independent in the bathroom, so make sure that they're wearing clothes that they can navigate independently. Join our PTSA or volunteer at school. We're not really sure what volunteering might look like yet, but our PTSA is an organization that is super important to Sierra Heights. Parent Teacher Student Association. This group of people have helped our school so much throughout the years. They've run book fairs and evening events and volunteer in our school and have done art projects and sold popcorn. It is a really incredible team of people that work together to help our school and help your students. We have many of our families that are starting to have their students move on to middle school that have been on the PTA for a long time, and kindergarten families, we really want you to join in and be a part of this. It's a really great organization, and so more information to come about our PTA. Watchdogs is another program that we have at Sierra Heights that is wonderful. It's intended to get more men into elementary schools. Dads, uncles, grandfathers, family friends. Watchdogs get the opportunity to observe their students throughout the day. They may be out at recess, they may go to the PE, they may do some projects for the teacher in the classroom, help us with arrival and dismissal. You can see how happy these little people are because their dad is on site. And I have to tell you, dads, kindergartners really love having you at school and visiting. You will be like a rock star. Communication is sent home every Friday on a weekly folder. It could be communication from the teacher, the school, the community. We also are doing a lot of communication via email, so make sure that your emails are updated and that we have the correct one so that you will get all the information that you need about school. School supplies. School supplies in Renton School District are a one-time fee of $30 per student. Students who qualify for free or reduced lunch, it's $10. And there will be more information sent home to you about how to purchase school supplies in the mail. Families only need to provide a backpack and a lunchbox. This is a way to really decrease the cost of school supplies because it can get really expensive and adds up quick. And by buying it in bulk like this, we can get it for a much better price. Backpacks make life easier. It's really important that we have a regular size backpack. The little backpacks are so cute and they seem to fit your kindergartner so well, and they don't fit anything. So it's really difficult to watch a kindergartner with a backpack and their coat in hand and their lunchbox and all their folders because nothing fits in their backpack. A regular size backpack, you can get your lunchbox in sometimes, your folders in and your coat, and you can put it on and you can get through your days pretty simply before or after school. Please make sure to not send a roller backpack when we have a full capacity of students. It's not very safe when we have lots of kids to run kids over. Please bring your backpack every day. It will have the bus tag on it and your dismissal tags on it. So if you switch out backpacks, switch that tag. Or if you lose your backpack and start with a new one, let us know and we'll get you a new tag. It's really important to clean out that backpack every day. Look for important information, but especially on Fridays. You never know what a kindergartner might end up with her backpack, so it's good to clean it out regularly. The first day of kindergarten is September 7th, 2021. Who will your child's teacher be? Well, you'll find out at our meet and greet. We'll send that information out to you about middle of August. Here are some of our kindergartners who came back for in-person learning this year. The reason why kindergarten starts at school on September 7th is the first 3 days when 1st through 5th grade has already started school, we have WA Kids family meetings. During these 3 days, kindergartners and their families have a scheduled time to meet just with them and their teacher. As Ms. Cochran said earlier, you're your child's first teacher and you know them best. So this is a time to talk with a teacher and really talk about who your child is, what their experiences have been, and how they are as a learner. That will help us build a program for kindergarten this upcoming year. I often get questions about homework. Really, always read, Read, read. Reading is the biggest predictor. Write about your reading. We will also have online tools next year for math, and most of that will be shared with you in the fall once you begin kindergarten. They'll take an assessment to figure out where they are, and then they'll have opportunities to do iReady Math. Boys and girls and families, we are going to have a great time in kindergarten. Obviously, this is a picture pre-social distancing, but you can see these kindergartners are having a great time. And all of our kindergartners who have come back to in person are continuing to have a great time in kindergarten. There are kindergarten readiness packets that were referred to throughout the presentation, and they will be available to pick up on Fridays from 8:30 to 3 for the next couple of weeks. So if you were interested in picking up a kindergarten readiness packet, please stop by the school between 8:30 and 3 on Friday. If for some reason that time doesn't work for you, please call the office at 425-204-4650 and schedule a time with our office, and we'll get you that kindergarten packet. Thank you for joining me. Have a great evening.